Welcome back. It's Hispanic Heritage Month, and 41 Action News is proud to tell the stories and reveal the history of the Hispanic community in Kansas City. Reporter Sarah Plake met the man who works to be the voice for his community and learned what motivated him to start something new.
The KC Hispanic News comes out every week like clockwork, as it has for 24 years.
And 26 years in television, that's a total of 50 years covering news in the greater Kansas City area.
Joe Arce is the man behind all these years of dedication to the Latino community.
And what I found over the years, even with my broadcasting experience, that a lot of local stations weren't really touching this particular part of Kansas City community, Hispanic community. And so therefore, I wanted my newspaper to be a vehicle of information like mainstream news, but it has an impact on the Latino community.
His team provides these stories in English and Spanish. He directed this effort from this building on Southwest Boulevard for years.
It was extremely important to be on the West Side because I grew up on the West Side. And it's something that I've always tell people, the West Side to me is growing up, it's like being in God's country.
This is the block that Joe Arce grew up on in the West Side. It looks a little bit different now than it did when he was younger, but the love for the community is still the same. Now, this is where his newspaper will be housed. He was working from home for a while after selling the old building, but it only felt right to be on the West Side.
We're at 1722 Holly, and I grew up at 21st and Holly. And so it's just, brings back a lot of memories to me. It's very emotional for me to be on this block because, again, this was my humble beginnings as well.
He serves as a mediator throughout the whole community. He can get you in contact with folks that you've been trying to reach and actually open up a conversation and a dialogue with some very powerful words and then document it in his newspaper.
Pedro Zamora is the executive director of the Hispanic Economic Development Corporation, which will be in the same building as the newspaper. Zamora says Arce pushed him to take that leadership role, as he's done with many other young leaders.
That's a very strong motivating component of Joe. He still believes that this community has a future, and he believes that the future relies completely on all the leaderships and the younger kids in our community.
As for what's next, Arce says he's not through yet.
What I'm doing is just covering news and trying to do the best job that I can and serve this community, the Latino community.
Sarah Plake, 41 Action News.
So he's already served countless organizations, including the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and the Guadalupe Centers. He founded the Hispanic Media Association and worked with the University of Central Missouri, both of which award scholarships to Latinx students.